today on Divorce Court.
I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend a little over 6 months, and in that time, he's had 4 jobs, and he spends most of his time at the cigar shop.
I have a problem with Crystal being too friendly and sociable with other men. Gentlemen walk away thinking perhaps I have a shot.
We got an apartment together. He has not paid 1 full month of rent.
I would want the judge to tell Crystal, you've got 98% of what you want, the other 2%'s on the way.
I just really want to know if this is going to be a viable relationship or is it just smoke and mirrors.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Crystal Jackson and Edwin Jones. Ms. Jackson and Mr. Jones, you've been together for 8 months. Ms. Jackson, you're feeling a little duped, and you're looking for $2,050 in back rent. You also say, and I'm not quite sure what we're trying to get to here, you want to stay in this relationship. You just want him to pay his way.
Yes.
That's what the gist of it anyway. So we're going to work through it, see where we can get. Ms. Jackson, why don't you tell me what's going on? You say you feel like you've been duped. Tell me why you feel that way.
I feel that way because when I met Mr. Jones, we met online. We started dating shortly thereafter. He presented himself to have a job. He had a car. He's very well put together, educational-wise. But it was sort of like when you hear lights and siren of a fire truck, and then you say they're on my street, and the fireman gets out, and then he walks up to your door and he knocks on your door and he says, "Here's your pizza."
That's a very good metaphor, I will say that. You know what I mean? You thought you were going to get, somebody to come in conquering, and you get a delivery man.
Yes. And
what did you find out to be the actual truth with respect to Mr. Jones' financial, educational, and work situation?
His work situation, he's in sales, and so he tends to sleep late and start his day in the evening. But every day he has a habit of going to a cigar shop. But for the most part...
Is he selling cigars?
I haven't seen a paycheck from a job in 8 months.
Let's ask him what he does for a living, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Jones, what do you do for a living?
I'm working with an energy company right now, and we're in sales. And she said, about being duped or what have you. When I first met Miss Jackson, I was here to, she, in her business, she didn't have her transportation in order at that particular time. So I took time out of my schedule, my allotted time, to actually go out and work to help her move around, do her business, and make some things happen and come together on her end.
Okay, how long were you assisting her in her efforts?
I would say in her efforts, about 5 months to 6 months.
5 to 6 months?
Yes.
Was he actually assisting you with your economic efforts for 5 to 6 months? Because you only been together 8.
So he was. We spent a lot of time together, but it wasn't always, I didn't really need him at my workplace. So our arrangement in the beginning was that he would take me to work and pick me up in the evenings. But we ended up spending the day together. He was at the second job, he was doing transportation. So I said to him, okay, I've got residents, I've got clients that he can transport, and that's for pay. We would have to hire someone else, so we'll hire you. So a lot of that time he did, but he was getting paid for that.
Excuse me, if I may, actually taking Miss Jackson to review clients, to bring clients into her business, to pick them up, to move them around, not just in a paid venue, not dropping her off from work at her homes or what have you, and then going about my way, but actually spending 4 to 6 hours a day driving here, going there, doing certain things to help her, waiting for her, and being there for her.
Were you working at the time?
I work an evening job. I deal with individuals in the community. I work an evening job, so being up at 7 o'clock in the morning is a
How much do you
little
make
part.
a month about?
About a month. Here lately, it's been a little bit down, but normally about $1,200 or so a month.
$1,200 a month.
Yeah, we've dwindled down, and I'm looking for other opportunities.
You living with her though, right?
At the particular time, no.
Right now, no?
Not since last month.
Not since, well, you put him out?
Yes.
And you put him out because he wasn't contributing to the rent? Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
Were you able to contribute meaningfully to the household based upon what you were doing at any point in time?
At a particular point, like I was saying, but if I may digress, the energy and effort that I was putting into helping her move around actually helped her bottom line tremendously. It may not have been a monetary contribution, but it was definitely a financial boost.
Yeah.
Because
Sweat
without
equity.
me,
You put sweat
was
equity into. Did he do a lot for you?
He did a
I
tremendous
believe so.
amount.
I believe so.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Not,
believe so.
Let me ask you, Chris. We'll back up just to see. Just how long did you know him before you let him move in?
I knew him for about a month, since December, and then he didn't have a place to stay, and staying with me was not an option.
So where'd you move him into?
We got an apartment together.
Staying with you where you were wasn't an option.
Right, staying with me where I was not an
But
option.
you were willing to move in with a guy you knew for 30 days. Go move into a new apartment and live it. Get in bed, go to sleep. Be totally vulnerable to a cat you knew 30 days. Wow. Wasn't it kind of a clue that, you know, you said you met online, he presented with a car, a job and all that, if he didn't have his own crib? Isn't that an indication that he is not self-sustaining? Women just go out there and be willfully stupid. You know what I mean? Come on now. Man ain't got a place to stay, and you gonna say he deceived you? He ain't got a place to stay. That's what that is. Cat ain't got a job. Or if he doesn't have enough of a job to pay you rent, he can't pay his own rent. You know what I mean? You know why I'm so upset? Is it just me? I feel like I'm alone. But I done fussed enough. Mr. Jones, I'm gonna talk to you for a moment and see where you think this relationship has gone too far afield. What do you think is wrong with this relationship?
Facebook, to be sure.
Well, what's she doing?
Every move we make, everywhere we go, how we're doing it. I can understand some things that you might share, but some things need to be private. Some things need to be just
What kind of
between you.
things does she share and you think she should keep to herself? Mr. Jones, I'm going to talk to you. What do
Yes.
you think is wrong with this relationship?
Basically, just some issues that I've had as far as the social media things.
What's
of
up
that.
with social media?
Well, my particular Facebook, Facebook to be sure.
Well, what's she doing?
Well, she's on it way too much, in my opinion. You know, I can understand some things that you might share, but some things need to be private. Some things need to be just
What
between
kind of
you.
things does she share and you think she should keep to herself?
Well, perhaps some things that we do.
Is she talking about you?
No, not talking about me. Some places we may go, some things we may do. Every move we make, everywhere we go, how we're doing it. And then there's the cell phone, just the constant ringing, the constant, you know, we need to talk. We're talking, the phone rings. All of a sudden, everything goes, I go away, I disappear, I become invisible, and the phone just takes preeminence.
Well, Ms. Jackson, let me ask you about that. Have you gone E-crazy? I mean, some people do get sucked into that E-life and their whole life is on some screen, either the computer or the phone.
As far as Facebook or social media, no, I do post, but it's rare. As far as the phone, I own my own business. I have business to take care of.
What kind of business is it?
I have a residential care facility.
Oh, that's why her phone's ringing right there.
But see, I understand.
No, you know, something's popping off all day long and all night long at the residential care facility.
From 5 in the morning until 11 at night.
It's residential care. That means, you know,
24
Joe Blow
hours.
falls at midnight. She got to do something at midnight.
What?
Somebody wets the bed at 3 a.m. You know, she's got to make sure staffing is there. That is a 24/7, 365 gig.
And I understand that. But
You
then,
living there rent-free. What you talking about?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You have another thing that I gave you a compatibility test because you're early on in your relationship.
Yes.
And you said a couple of things to me that I thought were interesting. And one of them was that you were looking for a spiritual leader and that you believed that he presented himself as a spiritual leader but has not come across as such. Explain to me what you mean.
We're looking for a church home. So yeah, we are looking for a church home.
What is lacking in his leadership in that regard?
Well, it's actually now later on, it is getting better in that regard. We are going to church, and the communication is better. So he said, okay, we've gone, we visited, we'd like to visit a couple more churches before, he makes a decision. So
he needs to make the decision. That's what you're looking for. You want him to make the decision for you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Why?
I think it'll cause dissension if we have opposite religious views and attending different churches.
Well, she asked me to do so, to find a church home, and that's what we've been doing. And I explained to her, when leadership goes forward, follow in. We pray together. We're talking things out. We're working through scenarios and situations, and we're looking forward to actually choosing a church home.
Okay. Mr. Jones, I understand you
Yes.
are reluctant to introduce Ms. Jackson to your family. Is that accurate?
No, it is not.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that. You know she's hurt?
Yes, I do.
Do you know why she's hurt?
And yes, I do.
Tell me.
To be honest with you, she's hurt because she trusted in me, and I failed her.
In what manner do you believe you failed her? How long would you allow a boyfriend to live with you without paying rent? Tell us what you think at facebook.com/Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Divorce Court. Briefly, Mr. Jones, why are you reluctant, or are you reluctant to introduce her to your family?
Well, Judge, I'm reluctant to interact with my own family, to be honest with you. After my mother passed, my family's been relatively disjointed. I have one son from a previous relationship, previous marriage. She has met my son. She has interacted with my son. And I think that him being the most important person in my life at this particular point, that me introducing her to my one and only son
demonstrates
states the fact that I take her sincerely and I'm interested in seeing what we can do to heal the breach and move forward.
Ms. Jackson, I think he has a point there about, have you met his son?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why do you feel he's reluctant to introduce you to his family?
Not so much his family, because he does not go around his family a lot, but I haven't met not one of his friends either.
Oh, we had an opportunity, and I'm glad she brought that to bear. My friends are some guys. I have a very close-knit group of friends.
What, do they meet at the cigar shop?
You got it. My cigar buddies. And here's an interesting thing. We have this thing.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
Any of your
yes.
cigar buddies got their own place, or they all living with other women?
Well, it's kind of a mixed bag.
Kind of a mixed
Some
bag.
do, some don't. But in
How
this
old
particular,
are you, sir?
I'm 50. But as we were stating
Are
at
you
this
seeing
particular
what
time,
I'm saying? You don't want to look at it, but it's right there. I'm hurting your feelings. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant to do. I do mean for you to see what I see, you know? Do you know she's hurt?
Yes, I do.
Do you know why she's hurt?
And yes, I do.
Tell me.
To be honest with you, she's hurt because she trusted in me, and I failed her. And I'm very contrite about that. And I
In
do
what
not
manner
take
did
it
you
lightly.
fail? You believe you failed her?
I failed her when I was going through the scenario with the sales and so on and so forth. When things were not happening the way that they needed to be, I should have done some other things sooner rather than later than I'm doing right now. And I believe because I didn't do that quickly enough, it disappointed her and it hurt her. And I feel very badly about that because I
How
fell
badly
short.
do you feel? I mean, you know, you can always get a job. You know, it may not be a great job, but you can get a
That's
job.
how badly
I'm
I
still
feel.
talking. You can always get a job and show up with some money.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I got a son working $12 an hour, you know, somewhere. He did just a high school diploma because he's just getting ready to go to college, but he got a gig 40 hours a week. He can give me $300 a week on some rent. Well, why not that?
That is very much in play. I have some of those that I'm reporting to on next week to interview for. Because at a certain point, you can keep saying, but you have to start doing.
Yeah. I want to talk to you, Ms. Jackson, and I want to make you happy. What must your partner have before you would agree to move in together? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Ms. Jackson, you are beautiful. You are intelligent. You are capable. You are successful. You have one blind spot. You're looking for that guy. And that guy has a resume. Intelligent, well-spoken, professional, spiritual leader, and committed to you. And as soon as you get a guy, because you've been married 4 times already, and now you got this guy that you found on the internet who ticked off all of those little boxes on your resume, and you glommed on to him like whoosh. You didn't make him show what he said before you bought it wholesale. And then you brought it home. Any guy 50 years old don't have a place to stay and gotta move in with you is not gainfully employed. That's what that is. And you listened to what he said because what he said fit what you wanted to hear, which was, I am a dude, I got it together, and all of that. Just I'm a little rough and right in through here. As soon as I move this over here and that over there, everything's gonna be all right. And you wanted to hear that. You wanted to believe that. You wanted to have him come in the house. And so you believed lie after lie after lie, or misrepresentation after misrepresentation, omission after half-truth. And now you're just angry about it. You're hurt because he's not the dude he says he was, and you've ended up being this sugar mama. And you hate that about yourself because you know you too good for that. You know? He hanging at the cigar shop with some other 50-year-old dudes, ain't got a job and living with a woman. Move on, move forward. You can find your own church. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual leader. You want to talk about a man as a spiritual leader, he must first commit to you as your husband. He has to give his life to you before he's allowed to lead you anywhere. Don't get it twisted. Don't reach for all the trappings of a husband, the trappings of a love, the trappings of a man, because that's what you keep reaching for. And then when you open your hand, you have nothing. This is the 5th time at least. Be fine by yourself. You know what I mean? You take care of yourself. I know you want $2,000 from him. He ain't got $2,000. This was a $2,000 lesson. And don't let a man use you. Don't let a man live in your house. Don't pay a man's bill. He can't pay his way. He ain't got no business with you. You hear me? Yeah. Love yourself. Yeah. Because you're lovable. There will be no recovering this matter. This matter's adjourned.
Wow. When Judge Lynn rendered her decision, it was something that I already knew, but it really hit home.
Crystal spoke from her heart about how she felt, and she has a right to feel how she feels. That's pretty much how I feel about that. No grudge, no hard feeling, no disagreement. I can understand, just there's work to be done.
I'm disappointed now in myself for holding on to this relationship for so long.